Hello, everybody, and welcome to this live stream. I hope you guys are all doing well. As you guys can tell, I'm wearing the veils. If you guys didn't know, the May crowning veils are officially live. So make sure you guys go to my website if you want one because they're selling out so fast. We had in the 20 minutes, almost more than half are gone, and people are absolutely loving them. So I'm so glad for that because through being able to donate and receive a veil or any of the items I have on my donation center, which is basically on my website under the donation center tab, we're able to keep the ministry running with all of the stuff that's going on because it's been very difficult for me to go anywhere or do talks or anything like that. So, this is the main way that we're able to get income for the ministry right now. So I do really, really appreciate all who have donated, all who are going to, and all who have just helped throughout this entire few months. It's just been very, very helpful. So thank you so much. For those who haven't seen it up close, the veils are beautiful. They're handmade by Ave Maria Veil Co. If you guys know Cecilia, you know that she usually does, oh my gosh, focus, that she usually does very unique veils. And so we worked really hard on this one. It's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful material. There is a clip already attached, so it will not fall off your head. I know that is a pet peeve of mine, especially with heavier veils. So very, very high quality, and those are officially live. Again, almost half have sold out in 20 minutes. So make sure that if you guys wanted one, it's in the description below. The link tree or the link is in the description below for the veils. Otherwise, you can go to my website at thereligioushippie.com and it's underneath the donation tab. So just wanted to remind you guys of that in case you didn't see any of the posts that I made, because I know a lot of people were interested in getting one. So I want to make sure hopefully you guys are able to get one if you want one, especially with Mother's Day coming up, you know? So very exciting. But so today's video is another help segment. As you guys could tell by the intro, I always have a disclaimer because I am not a professional, and you know what? Sometimes I get things wrong, and that's okay. But the main thing is that I just give my own perspective on the issues that you guys write into me about, and I know that's why you guys do it, because you want my specific uh, perspective on the issues. So for me, that's really important that I give you a well-rounded idea of what I'm my advice is, and to take it with a grain of salt, because everybody's going to be a little bit different. And I love it when people email me back after a while, maybe some time has gone by or whatever, and they email me back about the situation they originally emailed me about. And things either worked out or it happened the way that it needed to. They see that in hindsight now, but it's good just to know those types of things and to get like an update on stuff, because also I love to keep updated with you guys. So, yes. But without further ado, today will probably be a shorter video. We have a lot of construction going on at the moment. A guy just came to take down our greenhouse, and yesterday we had all the vents, air vents, and the dryer vents cleaned, which have really never been done before, which is not good. Reminder to get your dryer vents cleaned at least once a year. But ours was done poorly by a contractor, which we didn't know about until these guys came in and told us how bad the situation actually was with our dryer vents. So, yeah, I'm so glad we got that figured out. We were apparently a couple months, maybe a year maximum, from the whole dryer machine just going up in flames. So glad we got that fixed. Obviously, it kind of sucks because it's not like the cheapest thing ever, but I mean, safety is so important. So, yeah, glad we got that fixed. Just a reminder, it's dangerous to not have your dryer vents cleaned out after 15 years. So make sure you guys do that. But yeah, without further ado, okay, enough blabbering. Let's get on with this. Our first letter, I guess, email for the day is, hey, I am not sure if this fits on the segment, but I've been feeling very distant from my patron saint, Saint Francis of Assisi. I picked him as my patron saint mostly because it was in large parts the Franciscans and Italians who helped me in my conversion, and at the time of my confirmation, he was one of the few saints I knew. I've later gotten to know other saints who I can relate much better to and feel a closer connection with. But I have a feeling of guilt because I don't spend much time with my patron saint. How should I tackle this? hey, you know what? I don't think that you should feel guilty about it. The saints, they know way more than we do. And my patron saint, I don't have a good connection with. My patron saint is Saint Rose of Lima. I hardly mention her. And even though I do love her and I really appreciate, you know, her life and the example that she has set for so many people, I have just personally never connected with her on a spiritual level, an emotional level, any level. I've never related to her. I've never been able to relate to her. So for me, that was always a struggle that I felt. And the person I actually felt the closest to with the saints was actually St. Francis of Assisi, because I'm an animal lover. I love being barefoot. I love roses. I don't like throwing myself into rose bushes, but I love roses. And he helped rebuild the church. And that really inspired me with my ministry to kind of rebuild a tiny little, community church where we're I don't know how to explain it, but like, stone by stone, St. Francis rebuilt a church. And for me, that inspired me to go out and continue doing this ministry work. So I have a very close connection to St. Francis of Assisi, and I constantly ask for his intercession along with a few other saints, like St. Padre Pio, St. Faustina Kowalska, quite a few others. Archbishop Fulton Sheen is actually on the path to canonization now. Apparently, the third miracle happened. So hopefully, he's officially going to be canonized sometime in the next few years. Um, but it's okay if you don't feel a specific connection to your patron saint, because they might come in handy later in life. And a lot of the times, I think when people go through confirmation or reversion or something, they have the same experience where they didn't know a whole lot of saints. They didn't have time to research a whole lot of saints. So they just kind of picked who they thought was the best fit at the time. And then later on, you realize maybe it wasn't the best fit, but now what are you going to do? You have a patron saint, like da 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 da. I would still ask for St. Francis's intercession. Just say, St. Francis, watch over me, St. Francis, little things. I still do that with St. Rose of Lima, though I don't really feel much of a connection. But I think still, like, getting his intercession is important, because you never know how he is working to help you. But he might come in handy a little bit later on in your life. People always say, like, oh, they choose you for a reason, whether you know it or not, because all of this stuff kind of happens for a reason. So maybe that reason hasn't happened yet. I wouldn't feel guilty about it. I would maybe do a quick prayer or read more about St. Francis or something. And clearly at one time, he had some sort of connection with you. Maybe it was just on the more of a surface level, but maybe there's something about St. Francis that you don't know about yet or you haven't researched about. But I don't know, I don't know. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So sorry. I know it's been like forever since I've gotten these emails. So you still relate to Augustine, but you've been moved by Maximilian Kolbe. So you feel a strong connection. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that saints find us. Saints will stalk us, especially if they want to be friends with us. We hear about that all the time with Saint Therese of Lisieux. If she wants to be your patron saint or she wants to be your friend, she leaves roses for you places. You can't escape her, basically. Every conversation or everything you see is Saint Therese of Lisieux, and that's how you know she wants you to choose her for your patron saint, or just to be a companion, And so there are ways that the saints do this that's just really interesting to me. So yeah, but I'm so glad that it's working out, Frederick, and I really appreciate that you're figuring things out. So but yeah, so I wouldn't feel bad um about it. Don't feel guilty. Just implore his intercession every now and then. Don't forget about him, but don't feel like you have to be best buds if you're not feeling that connection, because that might come later down the line. Okay, our second help segment for today. Sorry, this one's going to be a little bit of a shorter video. I didn't realize how short it would be, but it's fine. This one we might be able to stretch out a little bit longer. Hello, Amber. I am an 18-year-old guy who is in love, and I want to marry my friend girl. Girlfriend, but like space. Okay. I am working a blue collar job on a livable yet low income. Her brother, my best friend, is very protective and advises that I wait until she is 18 and when I am making more money. What is your advice on this? Well, first of all, if she's not 18 yet, I mean, that's a little bit. I mean, I think if she was 18, that would definitely be more important because um I don't know how old the age gap is right now. She could be 17 and there's just a year age gap, and that's fine. But a lot of maturity can happen in a year. And I think just her being 18 would just make everything a lot easier. Outside of that, however, there's nothing wrong at all with wanting to get married young, wanting to get married before you're 20. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but you need guidance. And I think that's the main thing is that for Max and me, we knew we wanted to get married right away. Like, we were just instantly super smitten. We knew that we worked really well together. All of our morals were the same, our faith was the same. We had no issues whatsoever. Our priest, however, made us wait 6 months before getting engaged because we were just so hyped up and da 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 that we hadn't faced a lot of the difficult situations that take time to face. I know some people who got married after 3 months and, they made it work, but that is specific and you have to discern that. And again, you need to have good mentorship. And for Max and me, we got amazing mentorship from 3 priests. They were always there for us. Any questions we had, anything we had to work through. Max and I are very open. We're not secretive about our relationship at all with them. Like, they know everything. And which is really important because if there are certain things you're afraid to tell a priest about your relationship, there might be a little bit of an issue there. Like, there shouldn't be anything you have to hide or lie about in your relationship to a priest because a priest will be able to tell you whether or not he feels as though you guys are educated enough on this topic, on marriage and all the things that come in with it. I don't know what the girl's stance on this is, if she wants to get married, if you guys are dating even. I don't know that whole side of it because obviously it has to be two-sided. You know that. You can't just marry her and she wakes up one day and she's like, "What?" And you're like, "Oh, we're married now." It's like that's not really how it works. Um, but I would say money shouldn't really be the main factor, nor should the career, because there's never going to be a good time to get married. There's never going to be enough money to get married. There's never going to be the perfect moment for marriage or for kids. And so if you can make it work on a livable but low income, and you guys both understand that, and you have to live below your means, and you guys can budget and prioritize and have those difficult conversations that are so important in marriage, because I don't think a lot of people think about like the money aspect of it. Some are, some do. Is it going to be combined bank accounts? Is it separate? Those types of things. But what are different things you prioritize? Because I think for the women, we prioritize other things such as makeup and stuff like that because we want to look good for our man and we want to look presentable, dresses, things like that. Men might prioritize cars or house payments or something. So you guys have to work on that aspect of things too, which is why, again, I think it's so important that couples go through pre-Cana and take it seriously. Max and I, at first, we were just like, pre-Cana, like whatever. We don't have a whole lot to, hash out or whatever. But as we got deeper into it, we realized, what, let's just take this more seriously. It's for a short amount of time and maybe we'll learn something. Max and I already had a lot, and I mean a lot, figured out. We had so much figured out that we felt like there wasn't possibly anything else there that we had to figure out. But there were a few things. And most of them had to do with finances and priorities and how to live below our means without being being comfortable but not but I don't know. You guys know what I mean. So for us, we were still able to get a lot out of pre-Cana. A lot of hard questions, a lot of difficult conversations. And difficult conversations doesn't mean like the person makes them difficult, because you guys should be very open and honest with each other. It's more like the people who are, or sorry, it's more like the conversation itself usually is just hard to figure out because it takes both of you to communicate well in order for there to be a positive outcome for that conversation. So there's a lot of things that go into this, and I don't have a lot of information on this at all. So please, if you're watching this, let me know how things are going and what's going on. Again, I just don't have the full story. I don't know what her side is. I don't know if she, is she in school? Does she want to go to school? Um, I don't blame her brother for being overprotective, but and definitely I would wait until she's 18, 100%. I don't know how old she is right now, but if you're 18 and she's 15 or 16, I mean, that's not, yeah. So, but when it comes to the making more money thing, I don't think you need to make more money in order to get married. If you have a livable income, and even though it's low income, but it's livable, that's all you need, because you guys can build that life together. You guys can support each other in that and build up from that. Money really shouldn't be the issue here. I mean, you don't want to be homeless, obviously, but hopefully you guys would be able to work together and live below your means and work on that, where you don't, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. This isn't the 13th century where life expectancy was like 60 years old and you got married at 12. Yeah, there's that other thing too. I have nothing against getting married young, but I do think that you guys both being at least 18 is important. Just for maturity reasons, legal reasons, and just a bunch of other reasons. I think 18 is like, that's the minimum. And then from there, it's like, well, I don't know. But I don't think you should get married unless she's 18, 100%. But yeah, so hopefully that helps. I mean, I know it's not very helpful, and keep working and communicating with each other. Again, I don't have the full story, so I can't speak on everything. There's going to be things that I don't know, certain situations that I'm not a part of. So you guys will have to make the decisions best for you. But that is my 2 cents. So hopefully that helps. And yeah, guys, that's it for today's video. I know this one was a short one, and I apologize for that. Usually I go for about 45 minutes, but we're having construction here and stuff, and so I'm also delegating and helping and kind of running around and making sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Again, just really quick, the veils are officially live, over half sold out in just 20 minutes. So make sure that you guys get one if you guys want one. They're beautiful. And they're on my website, or you can click the link in the description below. They're a $50 donation, and every little bit truly helps me to keep this ministry running, especially with everything going on right now. So this is the main way I'm able to keep things going, because I'm unable to do talks or travel or anything at the time. So really, really appreciate it. But yeah, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.